What's up, wrestling community? My name is Bigboysnacksjonnytv. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And tonight I go my WWE NXT review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please will watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way to the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content on the channel like this, because I'm on the road to 8K and the path to YouTube partner. Follow my social media down below in the description, and let's get started. Now, WWE NXT was a solid show, and I give it a 5 out of 10. Tonight's WWE NXT airing March 4th, 2025 promised an action-packed night live from the Capitol Wrestling Center, WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. The WWE NXT Roadblock Go Home show sees WWE NXT North American Champion, the D'Angelo family, the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo, defending his title against Shawn Spears. Plus, TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy will make an appearance. The show kicks off at 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific Time, Eastern Time on the CW, and is available for the international fans on streaming platforms like Netflix. Ringside News will provide live match by match updates and highlights throughout the night. Stay tuned to this page. Refresh for the latest result as the action unfolds, and join the conversation in the comments below. WWE NXT results 3/4/25 live match updates and highlights. Alright. The show opens up with Vic Joseph, WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, and Corey Graves welcoming us. We then get a video package recapping the events of last week's episode of NXT. We then see the arrivals of the Tony D'Angelo family and Shawn Spears faction and the Hardy Boys to the WWE Performance Center. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven then makes their way down to the ring for their first match of the night, and Zarya and Soruka. Alright, so we get the first tag team match. WWE Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Soruka and Zarya. This was a pretty fun tag team match for what it was. The match starts off with Soruka and Chelsea Green. Soruka hits a face buster on Chelsea Green. Piper Niven and Zarya then tag in and stare each other down, and Piper Niven mocks Zarya by patting her on the head. Piper Niven then looks to body slam Zarya, but Zarya escapes and looks to get Piper Niven up on her shoulders. Piper Niven then stays on her feet and runs over Zarya with a shoulder tackle. Then Zarya tags in Soruka. Soruka then looks to hit a splash on Piper Niven off the apron over the top rope, but Piper Niven avoids it and tags in Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green then sends Soruka into the corner, but Soruka responds with a super kick on Chelsea Green and sends her into the mat. Piper Niven then tags in and the action spills out of the ring, with everyone nailing each other. Piper Niven then tags back in and delivers some strikes on Zarya in the corner, but Soruka tags in and looks to nail Piper Niven with a shoulder tackle. Piper Niven then stays standing on her feet, then tags in Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green then hits a mat return on Soruka and delivers some right hands on her spine, then tags in Piper Niven. Piper Niven then immediately tags out to Chelsea Green and nails Soruka before Chelsea Green wears Soruka down with a submission. Piper Niven then tags in and hits a splash on Soruka's spine, then sends Soruka across the ring and tags in Chelsea Green. Soruka then nails Chelsea Green and Piper Niven with a crossbody and tags in Zarya. Zarya then nails Piper Niven with a boot and follows it up with a German suplex on Chelsea Green and in a spear. Zarya then goes for a pin, but Chelsea Green kicks out. Soruka then tags in and double team on Chelsea Green and Zarya. With Zarya, Zarya then hits an F5 on Piper Niven on the top of Chelsea Green, and Soruka follows it up with a Soul Snatcher on Chelsea Green for the win. The winner of the tag team match, Soruka and Zarya. But one thing I do not like, the one thing I do not like about, if you're a champion, why are champions getting taking the pinfall or being tapped out of the submission? That don't make any sense. I just want to put that out there. Alright. After the match, Piper Niven makes sure to console Chelsea Green. We then see Cora J interrupting a discussion between Jordan Grace and NXT General Manager Ava. Cora J points out how she is not friends with Roxanne Perez anymore and how she will be TNA Knockouts World Champion. After Ava approves her pulls off her facing Masha Slamvokes for a title match. Cora Jade then says the Knockouts World Title will be more important after an NXT wrestler wins it. Jordan Grace then says she will retire before Cora Jade ever wins the Knockouts World Title. Ava then cuts in to keep the peace. Jada Parker then makes her way down to the ring for the next match at next match of the night. Vic Joseph then plugs WWE Evolve on Tubi as well as the new Raw recap show on YouTube. We then head to the back where we see Trick Williams argue with the NXT General Manager Ava about Eddie Thorpe. Uriah Connor and Cal Dixon then shows up to give Ava a gift package. Trick Williams then tells them to leave. Trick Williams then mocks Cal Dixon and Uriah for trying to encourage Andre Chase out of his funk. Kel Dixon then tries to come to Andre Chase defense, but Trick Williams puts him up against the wall. Ava then tells Trick Williams to back off. Uriah and Kel Dixon then talks about how Trick Williams shouldn't talk down to Andre Chase. Keelani Jordan then makes her way down to the ring for the next match of the night. So we get a singles match: Keelani Jordan versus OTM's Jada Parker, and this was a okay match for what it was. The match starts off with both women locking up. Jada Parker then sends Keelani Jordan crashing into the corner and delivers some shoulder on the mix session. But Keelani Jordan hits a missile dropkick on Jada Parker and follows it up with a standing moonsault. Keelani Jordan then rolls Jada Parker up, but Jada Parker kicks out and nails Keelani Jordan with a back elbow. Keelani Jordan then responds with the clothesline on Jada Parker, then follows it up with a springboard moonsault and sends Keelani Jordan crashing into the top turnbuckle spine first. Jada Parker then sends Keelani Jordan repeatedly crashing into the ring apron midsection first, then sends her back in the ring and wears her down with a submission. Jada Parker then drapes Keelani Jordan across the middle turnbuckle and hits a chop on her, then follows it up with a hip attack and sends her crashing into the mat. Jada Parker and Keelani Jordan then exchange strikes, but Keelani Jordan nails Jada Parker with a leg drop and goes for a pin, and Jada Parker kicks out. Jada Parker then hits a fallaway slam on Keelani Jordan, but Keelani Jordan responds with a Spanish fly on Jada Parker and looks to fly off the ropes. Jada Parker then trips Keelani Jordan and then looks to hit a hip attack on her. Keelani Jordan then moves out of the way, and Jada Parker is sent crashing into the ring steps. Then Keelani Jordan looks to hit a 450 splash. Jada Parker then moves out of the way and hits a hip attack on Keelani Jordan for the win. The winner of the singles match, OTM's Jada Parker. This match was okay for what it was. After the match, Jada Parker gets in front of the camera and says she will be watching the Stephanie McCure versus Julia title versus title match at Roadblock. That match itself is going to be cooking. Julia and Stephanie McCure will put on a 5-star instant classic. I love to see that. But my dream match would be Io Sky versus Steffi Valkyra versus Julia in a non-title triple threat match. Sign me up to see that triple threat match between Julia, Io Sky, and Steffi Valkyra. All three women will put on a 5-star instant classic. That's all I gotta say. I'm just putting it out there for example. Alright. That's just my opinion. I'm going to stand on it. Alright. Vic Joseph then welcomes Kelly Kincaid back to NXT. Kelly Kincaid then interviews Tony D. D'Angelo and the D'Angelo family about Tony D. Upcoming match. Tony D. then welcomes Kelly Kincaid back to NXT. Tony D. then says his mother always told him not to say another thing about women if he doesn't have anything good to say about them, which is facts by itself. Tony D then says he has a lot to say about EC Dame, but he will hold back to keep CW Network happy. Kelly Kincaid then asks Tony D about his back. Tony D then praised Stacks for holding things down while he was out. Tony D then says Shawn Spears is putting a family together, but there is only one family in NXT, and that is the D'Angelo family. All right, pretty cool backstage segment. I like that. Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy then show walking backstage. All right. We then see WWE NXT champion Open Family at Roadblock press conference. Open Family is asked about defending the NXT championship against a wrestler from a different company. Open Family then talks about how you are about to see a clash between the two Nigerian origin wrestlers. Open Family then says he doesn't want a TNA wrestler walking around with a WWE NXT title on his shoulders. Another member then asked Open Family about how he and Moose have a similar build. Open Family then talks about beating wrestlers of all builds. Open Family then says he hits first and hits hard, and when he gets his hands on Moose, Moose will wish he didn't leave the NFL. Open Family then says he will walk into the theater at Madison Square Garden and now and walk Madison Square Garden and walk out as still NXT champion. The match between Open Family and Moose, that match itself will be cooking. I cannot wait to see that match at NXT Roadblock. All right, for the NXT champion. TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, then make their way down to the ring to address the WWE NXT Universe. Jeff Hardy starts off by saying the last 2 weeks have felt surreal and it feels good to both be back in NXT and in WWE as a whole. Matt Hardy then says he and Jeff Hardy can feel the love appearing on NXT for the first time last week when they defended no corner catch crew and he and Jeff Hardy have been everywhere in the pro wrestling industry. Matt Hardy then says the positivity and passion in NXT is off the charts, and Jeff Hardy encouraged Matt Hardy's statement. Jeff Hardy then says he saw the same fire in Nathan Frazier and asked him as he and Matt Hardy uh, as he and Matt Hardy had. Hank Walker and Tank Lager music then hits and they make their way out. Lager says he and Walker come to the ring to thank the Hardys for showing them what it takes to be a tag team and they wanted to ask the Hardys for advice. Walker then asks the Hardys how to make things to take things to the next level. And Jeff Hardy says Lager and Walker should be going to the extreme by pushing themselves to their limit. Matt Hardy then says Lager and Walker have the same hunger in their eyes. As he and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys, were willing to bet on themselves and make everything possible. Alright. Josh Briggs and Yoshi and Amara music then hits and they make their way out. Josh Briggs and Amara tell Lager and Walker to stop kissing up to the Hardys, and Briggs tells Lager and Walker that they are taking the TNA World Tag Team Championships shot and they want for themselves. Walker and Lager then fly to land on Anamara and Josh Briggs on the outside with a double toe suicides, and the two teams brawl to the back. Matt then acknowledges Axum and Nathan Frazier standing behind them, and the two teams voice their respect for one another ahead of their TNA World Tag Team Champions match, TNA Tag Team Championship match next week. I cannot wait to see the Hardy Boys versus Fraxium. That tag team match is gonna be insane fire. That's gonna be insane fire. All right, Jordan Grace versus Cordray is then hyped as the next match of the night. We then get a hype teaser for next week's Julia versus Stephanie Mercury match. Triple H and Shawn Michaels both hype up NXT having the best women's division in wrestling and how Julia and Stephanie Mercury will have a match that will define the future of WWE. Both women then get subtitle promos where they hype up their upcoming match. That was a W promo by Stephanie Mercury and Julia. I love Stephanie Mercury and Julia. Those two are my favorite tag team. Not my favorite tag team. Those two are my favorite wrestlers in NXT. When it comes to NXT Women's Division, they know how to carry NXT. And I'm going to keep saying it. When it comes to WWE NXT Women's Division, the NXT Women's Division knows how to carry NXT. And that is facts. That's just my own opinion, and I'm going to stand on it. Alright. Vic Joseph then announces that Booker T, Mickey James, Bully Ray, and The Undertaker, the coaches of the WWE LFG, will be in attendance at next week's MSG Madison Square Garden Theater show. Jordan Grace then makes her way down to the ring for the next match of the night, and Cora J follows. The TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovic is watching the match from the front row. Vic Joseph then hypes the TNA Plus Sacrifice show, where Cora J will challenge Masha for the title. So we get the singles match: the Juggernaut Jordan Grace versus Cora J. And this was it was a squash match. This was a squash match. The match starts off with Cora J and Jordan Grace having a chain wrestling exchange. Jordan Grace then hits Cora J with a few battering ram shots and a clothesline. Jordan Grace then hits Cora J with a reverse body slam for a near fall. Jordan Grace then hits Cora J with her signature stiff short arm lariats and a sidewalk slam. Jordan Grace then pulls Cora J then pulls Jordan Grace's hair and shoves her into the turnbuckle. Jordan Grace then reverses a gut wrench with chops. Cora J then responds with a few chops. Jordan Grace then dodges a double stomp, and Cora J hits Jordan Grace with a draping knee lift, then sends her crashing onto the apron. Cora J then hits a drop kick on Jordan Grace through the middle rope, then pins her back in the ring. Jordan Grace then kicks out, but Cora J delivers some right hands on her and sends her face bouncing off the mat. Cora J then hits a stomp on Jordan Grace using the ropes, but Jordan Grace shoves Cora J into the corner. Medical officials then check on Cora J, and the referee calls for the match, declaring Jordan Grace as the winner. The winner of the singles match, the Juggernaut Jordan Grace. This was a squash match. We then get a hype package for the upcoming Tony D versus Shawn Spears WWE NXT North American Championship match. Alright. Vic Joseph then announces a sit-down interview with All Eagle Ethan Page, Yvonne Ellis, soundlight and split screen. Vic Joseph knows that Ava announces Ethan Page versus Yvonne Ellis for a roadblock in a New York street fight. All Eagle Ethan Page says he felt disrespected when a 20-year-old kid gave him a prep talk after he could get back to the NXT Championship. All the Pace then says he had to look at Giovanni was living his best life in WWE, while it took him Giovanni Evans' lifespan to get into WWE. Ethan Page then says this kid is telling him to be a husband and father. Ethan Page then says, "Is you know what, right? That is jealousy." Ethan Page then says if he can shatter Giovanni Evans' jaw again, he will do it. Ethan Page then says NXT is silly enough to give him a non-rules match. Giovanni Evans then says that's exactly what it is. Giovanni Evans then says Ethan Page did take his smile, did take away his joy, and did take away everything. Giovanni Evans then says he likes WWE his entire life, and this situation has made him look at things under different look at things differently. Giovanni Evans then talks about Ethan Page running away last week. Next week there will be nowhere to run. Giovanni Evans then says he will put it on his mama, that no one will take his joy and smile. After Joseph asks for After Vic Joseph asks for last words, Giovanni Alves and All Eagle Ethan Page talks over each other to end the segment. This was a good segment between All Eagle Ethan Page and Giovanni Alves backstage interview. I enjoyed this segment. All right, Kel Dixon and Uriah Connor then makes their way down to the ring for their next match of the night, and Trick Williams follows. So we get the singles match: Trick Williams versus Kel Dixon. This was a squash match. Trick Williams destroys Kel Dixon. The match starts off with Trick Williams hitting a knee strike on Kel Dixon. Trick Williams then delivers some right hands on Kel Dixon, and the referee calls off the match. The winner of the singles match, Trick Williams. This was a squash match. My boy Trick Williams destroys Kel Dixon. All right. After the match, Trick Williams grabs a microphone and calls out Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe music, then he makes his way out. Eddie Thorpe then challenged Trick Williams to an NXT Underground match in 2 weeks, and Trick Williams accepts. I hope Trick Williams goes over Eddie Thorpe. Alright. We then head to the back where we see that Jordan Grace has been laid out after she was hit with a chair shot from Roxanne Perez. The referee and Julia then checks on Jordan Grace, with Roxanne Perez walking off. The following matches are then advertised next week: Open Family versus Moose for the NXT Championship. That match itself will be cooking. The Hardy Boys versus Spraxim for the TNA World Tag Team Champions. That match is gonna be fire. That tag team match is gonna be fire too. So we get the NXT Women's Champion, the Madness Julia, versus NXT Women's North American Champion Stephanie Rakira in a title versus title match. That match is gonna be a 5-star instant classic. Then we get All Eagle Ethan Page versus Giovanni Neves in a street fight. I hope Giovanni Neves will go over Ethan Page. We then see TNA's X Division champion Moose at the Roadblock press conference. A person asks Moose where the title match next week ranks in Moose's career. Moose says he is a prize fighter in a fight for the biggest prize in the game. Moose then says when NXT and TNA signed an agreement, he waited for the opportunity to cross the line. Moose then says there's no bigger match in this partnership than Over Family versus Moose. Moose then says Over Family has been one one hell of a champion in NXT and will be a major player in WWE for many years. Moose then says Over Family can be the ruler of the NXT for years, but not the NXT champion. Moose then says he's leaving next week with 2 belts. That match next week between Over Family versus Moose, that match is up next week, will be cooking. And I'm looking forward to Over Family versus Moose for the NXT champion. Alright, let's move on. After Moose leaves NXT, after Moose leaves NXT, general manager Ava shows up and announces that she booked Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace for next week's Roadblock show. Finally, Haley then shows up in the crowd and asks for her rematch for the NXT Women's North America title. Ava just brushes off Fallen Haley. Alright, we then see Ricky Saint run into Rich Holland backstage. Rich Holland says Ricky Saint shouldn't be here. Ricky Saint then says Rich Holland better get used to seeing a lot of him. Rich Holland then runs into Shawn Spears and his crew. Shawn Spears tells Ricky Saint that this revolution will be televised when he wins the NXT North American Champion. Alright, quick segment by Shawn Spears. Alright. We then get a shot of the Tony D and the D'Angelo family walking backstage. Shawn Spears and his crew then makes their way down to the ring for the main event of the night. The D'Angelo family follows. So we get the main event of the evening, the WWE NXT North America Championship match. The D'Angelo family of the Dawn of NXT Tony D D'Angelo versus Shawn Spears. Now this match right here, I ain't gonna lie, This was a this main event match wasn't bad, but it was just an average match. This main event match was average. All right, but I'm also will say was this match was okay for what it was. So that's all I gotta say. The match starts off with Tony D'Angelo hitting some right hands on Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears then hits D'Angelo with a splash and delivers right hands on him. But D'Angelo hits some chops on Shawn Spears in the corner. D'Angelo then hits a clothesline on Shawn Spears, and both men Taylor teeter on the ropes. Shawn Spears then rakes D'Angelo's eyes and hits a kick on his face. D'Angelo then delivers some right hands once again on Shawn Spears and they teeter on the ropes. Then hits a few more on Shawn Spears midsection and continues delivering more in the corner. Alright. Shawn Spears then trips D'Angelo on the ropes, then delivers stomps on him and grabs his chair from the outside. The referee then convinced him not to use it, opening the door for D'Angelo to send Shawn Spears crashing back out of the ring over the top rope. Shawn Spears then continues to wear down D'Angelo and then continues to wearing him down with a camel clutch. D'Angelo then responds with a spear on with the with it says D'Angelo then responds with a spear on Shawn Spears, then sends him back inside the ring and climbs the top rope. Shawn Spears then looks to fly, but D'Angelo hits a right hand on his midsection and follows it up with a suplex. And Andrea and Ariana Rizzo and and Andrea, did I say that right? Ari Andre Andrena Rizzo then hits a thrust pass on Easy Dame on the outside. As Shannon stacks Lorenzo and Luca Crospino brawl with Nico and Brooks Jensen. Staggs then accidentally sends Tony D'Angelo crashing into Shawn Spears' chair on the outside of the mat, outside of the apron, spine first. Shawn Spears then takes advantage and hits the C4 on D'Angelo back in the ring and then goes for a pin, but D'Angelo kicks out. D'Angelo then looks to hit a spine buster on Shawn Spears, but Shawn Spears counters into a pinfall for the win. The winner and your new WWE NXT North American champion, Shawn Spears. This main event match was this was um this was a average main event match, but at the same time it was just okay for what it was. Alright. It says after the match we get highlights of the main event. Shawn Spears then celebrates his win with Brooke Jensen, Nico Vance, and Easy Dame, and stands tall in the ring, while the D'Angelo family looks on with disappointment on their faces. Commentary then hypes up the advertised card for next week's Madison Square Garden Theater show. We then get the exec exclusive producer credits, and the show comes to a close. And WWE NXT goes off the air. Alright, let me get my opinion what I think about WWE NXT. Now, WWE NXT was a solid show, and I give it a 5 out of 10. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my WWE NXT review and highlights, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning, from all the way to the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content like this on the channel. And I will make a 3-minute YouTube short video of me showing you guys my thumbnail. And that's all I gotta say. But I will see you guys tomorrow for my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.